Hi everybody. So today we're going to be doing a yoga flow that's going to help us stretch our back and strengthen it, really keeping it mobile and healthy. So when you're ready, go ahead and grab your yoga mat and let's get started. Before we start on our back, we're going to start with some shoulder rolls, rolling them forward and then rolling them back. And here we're going to go ahead and start those big inhales through our nose and letting it all out on our exhale through our mouth. When you're ready, let's go ahead and come into our forward fold. If this stretch is a little too intense, you can always bend your knees. Or if you'd like to feel the stretch a little bit more, grab the back of your legs and pull yourself towards your knees. Remember, with all our poses today, we want to listen to our body. And if anything becomes painful or too uncomfortable, we're going to want to find a variation. Let's take one more exhale here, and then we're going to come into our half forward fold, putting our hands on our shins, and it's almost as if we're trying to peer over our mat. Elongating and stretching the back. Now, when you have a good stopping point, let's bring ourselves into our downward dog, pushing our hands into the mat, pushing our chest back towards our knees. And here you can walk it out with me. Or if you want to feel that stretch even more, try and get your heels to touch your mat. And we just want to remember to keep breathing. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Let's start to ease out of downward dog. We're going to bring ourselves into thread the needle. Take your right arm and stretch it towards the front of you, or maybe you have it somewhat beside you. And then you're going to take your left arm and you're going to bring it under the gap underneath you. And let yourself fall into that gentle twist. If this is something that feels uncomfortable, try staying higher up and maybe putting a yoga block underneath your head. It's moments like these that we really want to take a second and notice how our body is feeling. There is never any pressure to push ourselves into a posture. But if everything is feeling good, let's go ahead and switch sides. Thread the needle is one of those asanas that's really going to help us with our posture and just overall flexibility of our upper body. Let's start to slowly come out of that pose back into tabletop. And from here, we're going to go ahead and come into puppy pose. Walk your hands out in front of you, stretching them toward the front of your mat and letting your chest melt into the floor. I find this is a good posture to hold the intention of releasing anything that we don't want to hold on to, letting go of anything that we feel is holding us back. Our next pose is baby cobra. Let's bring ourselves onto our stomach and slowly ease into this next pose. Bring your hands out beside you and push your elbows back and raise your heart and chest to the sky. To help our back, we're going to want to try and engage our legs in this pose and really keep our legs down on the ground. We're really helping to strengthen our back here. We're going to take just a couple more breaths in this pose. On that last exhale, let's bring ourselves down to the ground slowly, giving ourselves a little bit of a rest here. Now, when you're ready, you're going to want to come onto your back for this next asana. This pose is our reclined spinal twist. To start, we're going to bring our right knee towards the left side of our body. You can use your left hand to bring that right knee towards the floor. Let it gently sit there. And you're going to stretch your right arm out to the right, and we're going to look that way. It is sometimes said that when we feel pain in our bodies, it relates to emotions. So maybe you take this time to think if you're holding on to anything that you should let go of. Maybe it's resentment, maybe it's feelings of grief or being hurt? Is there anything that you've been carrying that you're just ready to let go? Let's start to find a place where we can switch sides now. We're going to come into our next pose, and you're just going to want to take one of your knees to your chest. This may be a little hard, but we're going to try and keep both of our shoulders towards the floor. Again, we just want to make sure that we're continuing to listen to our body through this flow, not pushing ourselves into anything painful. We're going to go ahead and switch sides now, bringing that right leg towards the chest, trying to keep our shoulders towards the floor. Let's go ahead and take our last couple of breaths in this pose. And we're going to come into Savasana. We're just going to continue to lay on our back with our arms by our side. And maybe you have your palms facing up because you're open to receiving energy. Or if not, you can just keep your palms down. In this pose, I want you to really allow yourself to fully relax. Maybe you close your eyes here, taking our big inhales through the nose and sighing it out on our exhale. With each breath, we're going to allow ourselves to go deeper and deeper into the floor. In this moment, I invite you to let go of stress and let go of any tension that you may be feeling. Instead, we are embracing calmness and peacefulness. We are taking this time to let our bodies recharge. As we start to come out of Savasana, you can turn to one side and just take a few more breaths there. And we're just going to slowly work ourselves up into a seated position. Let's start to come into our seated position now. We're going to bring our hands to the sky, hands to head. I choose kind thoughts. Hand to mouth. I choose kind words. Hand to heart. I choose to always be myself. Thank you
Namaste.
for joining me in today's flow, and I hope I'll see you next time. Bye.